viewers, in my previous two lectures, I have discussed with you major systems of alternative medicine, which were allopathy system, Unani system, Siddha system, homeopathy and Ayurvedic system. In today's lecture, I shall be discussing with you the Tibetan system of medicine. But before we start with the discussion on Tibetan system of medicine, let us quickly recapitulate as to what we did in our last two lectures. As you know, allopathy is a system of medical practice that uses drugs, surgery and radiation to treat disease and symptoms. Unani medicine is another system which is an ancient Greek and Arab traditions. It focuses on restoring the body's natural balance through diet, lifestyle and herbal medicines. Another very old system of South India is the Siddha system. Siddha system is one of the oldest systems of medicine in India, and as I have already said, it was very popular in South India. This system uses herbal and herbo-mineral remedies for treating various ailments. Metals like mercury, silver, arsenic and lead were also used in this system, although there was some controversy that these metals, if used in excess, may cause metal toxicity. Another very popular system, which was homeopathy and which is also used today, is based on the theory of like with like or the principle of similia. This system of medicine believes that natural substances prepared in a special way and used in very small amounts can restore health. And this we've already seen that when this medicine is administered, what we find that the mother tincture is diluted 1,000 to million times before it is given to the patient. Now let us look into Ayurveda. As we know, Ayurveda is a classical system of preventive, promotive and curative healthcare originating from the Vedas, documented around 5,000 years ago. Ayurveda is currently recognized and practiced as one of the most effective alternative medical systems in India and many countries in the world. Unlike Western medicine, Ayurveda is a holistic science and looks at wellness as a whole. According to Ayurveda thought, perfect health is defined as a state of balance between mind, body, spirit and social well-being. Rather than treating only the symptoms, Ayurveda focuses on finding and treating the root cause of disease. Any type of disease, whether that is physical, mental, emotional or spiritual, is caused by an imbalance. Thousands of years of Ayurvedic knowledge and wisdom have been documented in ancient scriptures, the most revered one being Charak Samhita. So what we find the difference between the two, the allopathy and the alternate medicine, is that our allopathy depends on drugs, surgery and radiation, whereas the alternative methods of systems of medicine are taking into view the holistic perspective or the holistic well-being of a person. So the system that we are going to discuss in detail today is the Tibetan system of medicine or SOWA RIGPA. SOWA RIGPA, commonly known as Amchi medicine, stands as the traditional medicinal system in various Himalayan regions. SOWA RIGPA means science of healing or knowledge of healing in the Bothi language, and the practitioners are referred to as Amchis. SOWA RIGPA traces its origins to Bhagwan Buddha in India with a foundational textbook first taught near Bodh Gaya in Sudarshan I. On your screens, I have shown you Bodh Gaya. SOWA RIGPA is rooted in Indian Ayurvedic fundamentals like Panch Mahabhuta, Tri Dosh and Saptadhatu. However, the philosophical aspects of SOWA RIGPA have been formulated according to the Buddhist principles. On your screens, you can see a Tibetan practitioner extracting medicines from general herbs or the other sources from which the medicine was procured. The traditional Tibetan medical system or SOWA RIGPA is one of the world's oldest known medical traditions. This traditional medical system developed in the 8th century under King Trisong Detsen and incorporated the best international medical practices of that time. The medical treatise Gyut Shi or the Four Tantras was then originally composed and later edited in the 12th century. On your screens, you can see the source or the book where it is depicted from which these medicines were extracted. They were mainly from herbs and the animals. The Tibetan medical system's Four Tantras was based on Tibet's indigenous health practices. This knowledge of the 8th century was reviewed and discussed at a conference attended by scholars of Tibetan medicine from Greece, Persia, India, China and Central Asia who met at Samim Monastery in Tibet. On your screens, I have shared a picture of Samim Monastery in Tibet with you. Trisong Detsen's medical council was composed of respective international practitioners from these countries. Together, they developed SOWA RIGPA in its present form. In 2010, the Government of India officially recognized SOWA RIGPA as a science of healing and has since approved the establishment of the National Institute for SOWA RIGPA in Leh, Ladakh. On your screens again you can see National Institute for SOWA RIGPA which is in Leh, Ladakh. The aim of this institute is to provide opportunities for research and development of Tibetan medicine's SOWA RIGPA. The pharmacology of Amchi relies on complex formulae of multi-ingredients medicines that use herbs, minerals, metals and animal products. Again, here I have shown you the illustration of Tibetan materia medica from where one comes to know the source of Tibetan medicines which were mainly from plants, herbs and animals. SOWA RIGPA continues to be practiced in Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, Ladakh, Siberia, China and Mongolia. Some parts of India and parts of Europe also, and North America also practice SOWA RIGPA. On your screens you can see a practitioner taking the pulse of a patient. And again on your screens you can see a traditional Tibetan medicine poster depicting human anatomy. Tibetan medicine follows the Buddha's Four Noble Truths which apply medical diagnostic logic to suffering. The Tibetan medical heritage is based on the book of the Four Tantras which remains the fundamental medical text even today. The Four Tantras was visual observation to diagnose symptoms by analysis of the pulse, the tongue, and the analysis of the urine. It, in modern terms, we call it urinalysis, and we find that even now in Western medicine also one's diagnosis which are based on the analysis of pulse, tongue, analysis of urine, and the analysis of blood. The basis of the four tantras, which are root, exegetical, instructional, and subsequent tantra, is to keep the three bodily humors in balance, which are wind, bile, and phlegm. Let us discuss these tantras one by one. The first one, which is the root tantra, is a general outline of the principles of Tibetan medicine. It discusses the humors in body and their imbalances and their links to illnesses. The fundamental basis of Tibetan medicine are teachings about three principles of life force, often called as doshas or humors. These three doshas are wind, bile, and phlegm. On your screens, you can see the three humors of the Tibetan medicine. They represent combination of five basic elements: earth, water, fire, wind, and akash or space. If these elements are in good harmony and balance, the person is healthy. But misbalance of doshas and elements is known as a sickness or disorder. In ancient and medieval medicine, the humors of body referred to four bodily fluids believed to affect health and temperament. These body fluids are blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. The four humors, which are blood. Blood is associated with a cheerful and optimistic temperament. Phlegm is linked to a calm and sluggish temperament. Yellow bile is believed to cause irritability and anger. Black bile is thought to lead to melancholy and sadness. Tibetan medicine differentiates two main types of disorders: disorders from cold and disorders from heat. But both of them arise from the mind. Tibetan medicine embraces the traditional Buddhist belief that all illnesses ultimately result from the three poisons, which are delusion, greed, and aversion. These three humors are in fact produced by the three mental poisons: desire, which gives rise to wind, hatred gives rise to bile, and sluggishness to phlegm. Preventing ideas to enter the mind and passions initiate disorder of the wind. Anger initiates imbalance of bile, and sluggishness initiates imbalance of phlegm. The second tantra is the exegetical tantra. This section discusses in general theory on subjects such as anatomy, physiology, embryology, and treatment therapy. The longest of the tantra is the third one, which is the instructional tantra. It is mainly a practical application of treatment. It explains in detail illnesses and which humoral imbalance causes which illness. This section also describes specific treatments for the illnesses. The fourth tantra is the subsequent tantra. It discusses about diagnosis and therapies, including the preparation of Tibetan medicine. This involves the cleansing of the body internally and externally with the use of techniques such as moxibustion, massage, and minor surgeries. Tibetan medicine employs multiple approaches to diagnosis that incorporate techniques including venesection, moxibustion, compression therapy, medicinal bathing, and massage. Let us discuss these in little detail. Venesection is the act of drawing or removing blood from the circulatory system through a cut or puncture for the purpose of analysis or treatment for blood disorders. Moxibustion is a type of heat therapy in which a herb is burned on or above the skin to warm and stimulate an acupuncture point or affected area. On your screens, you can see the technique of moxibustion being used on a patient. The third technique is the compression therapy. In compression therapy is a medical treatment that uses pressure on the body to improve blood flow and relieve swelling. In this, what is done, that is, a bandage is tied on the limb, and what it does, it can be used, it increases the pressure, the blood flow in the limbs or in the body, and this treatment can be used in number of conditions including varicose veins, deep vein thrombosis, and venous ulcers. The last one, we can say even today we are using these pressure socks which are available in the market. So the aim of using these pressure socks is to increase the blood flow in the limbs, which is believed to pump the blood in the entire body. The fourth technique is the medical bathing. The practice of taking a bath with added substances like herbs, minerals, or medications to treat a specific health condition. This technique uses bathing as a therapeutic method to alleviate symptoms or promote health. And we know that even today we are using steam baths with added herbs to purify or to detoxify the body, and this is used very frequently in Kerala therapy or in Ayurveda medicine also. The fifth technique is a massage technique. Massage is an ancient Tibetan tradition of rebalance and medicine. This technique focuses on restoring energy and harmonizing the body's natural free flow of energy using 5 elements. On your screens, you can see a modern potli massage which is being carried in a therapy center. This we've imbibed from the SOWA RIGPA, or the Tibetan medicine. The essential and fixed oils indigenous to the Himalayas heighten the therapeutic effect. Tibetan techniques of cupping, kneading, and acupressure combined with warm poultices support the nervous system and stimulate energy flow, and these massages are now carried all over India, in medical centers also, and in almost all the systems like in Ayurveda, or we can say even at Patanjali, to stimulate the energy flow and to activate a person's energy. SOWA RIGPA functions as a science, art, and philosophy, and adopts a holistic approach to healthcare. It emphasizes harmony and understanding between human beings and the universe or the environment. In practice, SOWA RIGPA extensively uses Himalayan plants, minerals, and natural resources. Diagnostic techniques such as pulse and urine examinations are specialized, aligning with the key Buddhist principles of altruism, karma, and ethics. When we talk of altruism, it is the fact of caring about the needs and happiness of other people more than your own, which we also call as paropkarita. Now what we've seen that I've discussed with you in these 3 lectures all the alternative systems of medicines, and we've also compared the Western system of medicine with the alternative systems of medicines. Whereas we found that the Western system of medicine uses drugs, surgery, and radiation to cure a person, whereas the alternative methods of systems of medicines take into approach the holistic view of a person's personality, his ailments, and they try to go to the cause of the disease. And then they are using natural systems. The medicines are derived from the nature, either from herbs or from plants, whereas in Western system the medicines are chemically prepared. Both the systems have their pluses and minuses. For this lecture, I had used the references by Claude, which was Glimpses on the Tibet History, SOWA RIGPA, Art of Healing, and the second lecture reference which I used was by Skinner, that is Tibetan medicine, which is given in the Gale of Encyclopedia of Alternative Medicine, which was edited by Gale. In my forthcoming lecture, today I shall be discussing the evolution, the history and the evolution of the Indian food culture through various eras. Thank you.